everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anya and today is going to be a full face of almost first impressions. Most of these products are high-end. I haven't tried any of them on my face. I've tried a couple on my hands and sort of swatched and tested and played with, but I've not put any of these products except for a couple on my face. A lot of them were bought recently when I went to London. Some have also been accumulated over the last couple of months and I haven't tried them out yet. For foundation, I have the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus in the shade Fair. And for concealer, I'm planning on trying out the It Cosmetics by Under Eye in the shade Light. I'm not 100% sure whether or not you're supposed to use a primer with this one, because I've had that you can use it as like a moisturiser. Because it is very moisturising, it's meant to be like a CC cream with, or a moisturiser with a lot of coverage. But I have the Becca First Light Priming Filter that I do want to try out, and it has this very pale purple tone, so in a very thin consistency, but I'm just going to put this all over my face, and this smells really, really good. So that just made my skin super shiny, pretty much. Super luminous. The lady at the It Cosmetics counter at Selfridges advised me to use this with a brush, but I don't really like applying foundations with a brush, but I am going to try it. This is the foundation blurring brush from e.l.f. and this is very thick in consistency. So I'm just going to patch it onto my skin, which is what I usually do. And I think I'm going to try my sponge on the other side of my face to see. That was roughly half a pump, so I have the rest remaining, and I'm going to try that on the other side with my Real Technique sponge to see which one works better. I've always preferred a sponge, or ever since I started using a sponge, I prefer it because I feel like it blends it out so much quicker, and I feel like it doesn't emphasize as much texture, and I have quite a lot of texture in my skin. I definitely got a bit better coverage on the brush side than I did on the sponge side. And finish wise, I did see some brush strokes on this side, but I think if I apply it with a brush first and then go in and smooth it over with a sponge, it is a finish I really like, because it's kind of skin-like, it's dewy, it's not full coverage. I would say maybe light to medium, but I'm going to try and apply a bit more. I'm just going to try and build up a little bit more coverage on the areas where I need it, which for me are my cheeks, because they're always red and I have a lot of breakouts. So it is a tad dark and it looks a bit yellow when I first sort of pumped it out, but now it has sort of melted into my skin. It has a bit more of a neutrally tone, and I have a neutral undertone, so I enjoy that a lot because I rarely find face products that are pale enough with a neutral undertone, because most of them go either very yellow like the Maybelline Fit Me, or very pink. I tend to stipple because I find that gives me more coverage than if I were to just buff. I actually really like that, and it's really dewy, but it doesn't look overly shiny. Now I don't know how much of this dewy glow I'm gonna give to the primer or not, but I enjoy it. I'm definitely going to play more with it, and this is a first impression, as I said, but it's probably going to be a couple of weeks from me filming this until it goes up, so any thoughts after I've tried these several times will be down with each product in the description box. I'm going to try now the by Under Eye concealer, and I have swatched this and it is thick, like really thick. I have a feeling less is more with this product, so we're going to take a little bit here. Again, with concealers I prefer to use a sponge, but I'm going to try and place it with my finger first, and I'm going to use this on the under eyes. And this, I was a bit worried since the CC cream is in the shade Fair. I was worried that this concealer in the shade Light would be too dark for me, but it is lighter than the CC cream, which means that this is probably a lot closer to my skin tone. I think I'm going to start there and I'm going to just blend that out. I really like that. Now I have a lot of lines under my eyes and it is kind of, I don't want to say sinking in because it's not emphasizing them, but it's definitely sitting in them. But they don't look as emphasized as a lot of other concealers do. To set this under my eyes, I'm going to try the by Pores Loose, and for the rest of my face I'm going to use the pressed version. I'm going to start with my under eyes, I think. So I've just popped some into the cap and it's not completely white. I don't know, it kind of has a tiny bit of yellow to it, and I have a feeling that could potentially help with flashback and stuff. I'm going to use my sponge and dip that in and just press the powder in. I was going to take this on my chin, on my top lip as well as my nose. I'm going to try the pressed one for the rest of my face. I'm also just going to dust away any excess powder with that brush. It looks a tiny bit dry on my nose, and my skin has been really dry recently, so I'm not really surprised. But it looks really even and smooth on the rest of my face, so I do like that. Now, after I have set my face with a powder, I usually go in with a setting spray, usually a mattifying one, just to keep this first layer completely in place before I go in with blush, bronzer, highlighter and all that stuff. And this is a new one to me. This is the Cover FX Mattifying Setting Spray. Now, as I said, my nose does look a bit dry, so I'm a little bit worried about this. I haven't tried this one on my face yet, but let's just try it out anyway. It sprays out like super wide. Doesn't really have much of a scent. I have completely soaked my face, so I'm just going to let that dry. I'm going to do my eyebrows since I don't have any new eyebrow products, and I will be back. So my brows are on. They're very thick today and I didn't really think they would be. I'm going to hope that it's work. I'm going to prime my eyes with my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I feel like it's only fair to test the eyeshadows in the way that I will be using them, which is 9 times out of 10 with a primer on. The eyeshadows I'm trying out are the Luxury Palette by Charlotte Tilbury in the shade The Dolce Vita. Now, I don't know how true to colour this looks because of the bright light, but I'm going to try and fix it. But this is a super glittery shade. This is a really nice white cream. This is a really sort of red brown, and this is a more neutral brown. None of these colours are completely matte. I would say even the two darker browns, they have almost a bit of a satin look to them. But I'm excited to try it out, so I'm going to zoom you in and we'll see what we can do. Here you can properly see the mess that is my eyebrows today. I am sorry. I'm going to start off with a really big fluffy brush and the white shade and just dust that all over the lid. That one definitely has some sheen to it. In that moment when you realise you haven't cleaned any of your brushes. And then I'm going to go into the super red brown there and pop that in the crease. Really pigmented, and it definitely has some sheen to it. And I'm just going to go back to the first brush that we used and blend the edge. Blends out really nicely actually. If I'm looking at the side there, it's because I'm having some trouble both looking in the mirror and staying in frame, so I'm going to use the viewfinder as a bit of a mirror. That's really pretty. And then with my finger, I'm going to take that shade right there, the super glittery golden bronze kind of shade, and I'm just going to pat that on the lid, leaving a little bit of space on the outer corner. That's stunning. Has a little bit of fallout I can notice. I'm going to go back into the red. I'm going to put a little bit more in the crease as well as on the outer corner. And then I'm going to take that red shade under the eye. Not into your eyes though, that's not comfortable. Okay, I'm having tons of fallout, so I'm gonna grab a super big fluffy brush and just try to whisk all of that away. So I've changed the focus a bit there. Yeah, I have tons of glitter fallout right here on my cheek. I'll try and ignore that. Back into the red. Mainly focusing the colour on the outer corner and then just dragging it in under. And also collecting it in the outer corner there. Back to the fluffy blending brush, I can't speak. And I'm just going to blend the edges, both top and bottom. You can see there as well as inside here, there is some colour fallout from the red from when I was swishing my brush back and forth to try to get rid of that. Taking some washi tape, and I'm just going to use closest thing to hand here, and for me that is the lip liner I'm going to use. Stick that around the lip liner, sticky side up, and just roll that over the skin, and that actually takes up a lot of the glitter bits, especially glitter if you're having issues with glitters and pigments and stuff falling all over your face. Do that, and you can just take that off and toss it in the bin. And I'm just going to do the other eye the exact same, and I'll be back. On a super tiny brush, looks like that, I'm going to go into the lightest shade, and I'm going to pop that on the inner corner as well as under the brow. On this eye, I did tap off my brush a bit more to try and avoid getting as much fallout as I did on this eye. And that definitely helped, because they do, I'm not going to say they kick up black powder, you definitely make the chances of fallout a lot smaller by tapping your brush off. And I wasn't planning on using an eyeliner, but I'm going to take my Colourpop Mr. Bing and just put that on the waterline. And this is just a really pretty, really warm brown. Okay, I'm then going to try out the Benefit Roller Lash. And I've had this for a little while. I think I bought this in Copenhagen, so it's been about 6 months. It's really thin, but the wand is also curved a little bit. Not super long bristles, so you can see how this one works. I'm gonna curl my lashes first because I always do that. Now I might jump at a shot here because I'm like this close to my mirror whenever I put mascara on. I don't even remember what colour this is in. Okay, I really like that. So I like that mascara. It's not the best at holding a curl, but it looks really nice. Didn't blob onto my eyelid or anything like that, so that's good. The setting spray, I forgot I put that on a minute ago, is definitely good if you need something to keep you matte, because my face looks pretty matte and a little bit dry, which is my own fault because it has been pretty dry recently, and I don't think this is really meant for dry skin. I think this is more geared towards oily skin. So my skin looks a bit dry, but I really like the eyeshadows. Tap off your brush, there is some fallout, but other than that I think they're nice. For my bronzer slash contour, I feel like I'm weirdly framed. Hello. I'm going to try out the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze Film Style Bronzed and Glow in the shade Fair to Medium, I think it is. And there's a really pretty bronzer and a really pretty highlighter. None of these products are matte, they both have a little bit of sheen to them, and you can see I have stuck my fingers in them before. But they are very pretty colours, and I do think they're going to work really nicely for my skin tone. This is the Duo Fiber Contour Brush, which is great for bronzer, contour blush, anything. Especially if you're not sure how pigmented it's going to be, which is me right now, because this is really great for applying a sheer level, but also really nice for building it up, and it fits really nicely into the hollow of my cheek there. Pretty colour. I'm going to put some on my actual cheek as well, because it is meant to be a bronzer, not necessarily a contour, but I can definitely get away with using it a bit as both. I am going to try it with a bigger brush. So this is the Duo Fiber Face Brush, also from Real Techniques, just to see how it applies with something bigger. Okay, that looks actually really, really nice. I'm going to try it with this brush on this cheek just to see. I actually really like that. That is managed to give my face a little bit of a definition, like I actually have cheekbones. Who would have thought? There's hair everywhere. but it still looks natural. So I like that a lot. I'm going to use the highlighter from the same palette, but I think I'm going to try and put a bit of blush on. I didn't buy a blush when I was in London. Don't really know why. But I recently got this one, which is from Makeup Revolution. And it's the blush palette in the shade Sugar and Spice. So I think I might try this one right here, which is a really sort of muted pink rosy type colour. And I'm just going to use the same brush I used for the bronzer. Kick off a little bit of the excess and just gently put some onto my cheek. These are definitely really pigmented. I haven't actually put any of these on my face either, but I have swatched them. I can tell there's some of the coverage has actually completely left this area of my cheek, and it's starting to look pretty dry and broken up on my nose, which I think is my own fault for trying the mattifying setting spray when my skin was already looking a little bit dry, but live and you learn. For the highlighter, I'm going to take my Real Technique setting brush, which is what I usually use, and I'm just going to pop that onto the cheekbones. It's really pretty. It is bordering a bit dark on me. There's a really nice golden tone to it. And it is a little bit powdery. It's kicking up some powder in the pan. But that's really pretty. I'm also going to take a tiny bit of that down my nose. If your skin does look a bit dry, my best tip is literally just throw some highlighter on. That usually helps it a little bit. That's really nice. It actually doesn't emphasize any texture, any pores or anything like that. I'm going to take just a dab. I always do this just right above the arch of the brow. Not that these brows currently have any arch to them, but a tiny bit on the chin. Really like that. For my lip liner, Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, the one that everyone talks about. It's a really pretty lip liner. It's very close to my natural lip colour, but it has almost, it looks on the cap here like it's going to be more brown than it is. And swatched as well, it almost looks like it's going to be a pinky browny nude. But it has almost a bit more like rosy, red, not red, a bit more pink to it on my lips it looks like, but that's just, that can easily be just because my lips are very pigmented to start with. But I really like that. Feels really nice. It doesn't feel really dry either, so that's good. For lipsticks, I have two here. I have the Matte Revolutions in Pillow Talk and Bond Girl. Now, Pillow Talk I believe is a new release in this lipstick form, and it's a really pretty nude that matches the lip liner, as you would probably guess. Bond Girl is a little bit deeper and it has almost like a bit more mauve to it, but I really like them both. I'm going to go with Pillow Talk today though, and I might mix in a little bit of Bond Girl. And I really like the bullet shape of this because they're kind of squared up at the front there. They're really soft, so be careful when you're sort of dragging them along your lips because I nearly broke mine just now. They're really pretty, really creamy, and this is just a really pretty, I'm not going to say nude. On some people it's going to be nude. On me it's almost a bit too dark to be nude. It's a very neutral colour, but it's kind of like my lips but better and a tad bit more brown. I'm not very good at describing colours, but I do really enjoy it. And these lipsticks are a more satin, they're called Matte Revolution, but they're not like matte, like a liquid lipstick matte. They're kind of like satin matte and really comfortable on the lips. I got to test out Pillow Talk on my lips at the store because I was a bit unsure about the colour. But I got to try it on and I really liked it, so really comfortable, really pretty, and that is my look. So far I liked everything, pretty much. Again, this one I will probably save for closer to summer when my skin is a bit more combination oily rather than combination dry like it is right now. But everything else I really liked. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again with a new video in a couple of days, hopefully.